And start from the beginning?
You can go, yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Ryan. I'm an English teacher at Ocean Township High School. As of this year, I am entering my 12th year teaching and my 8th year at the high school. Before I came to the high school, I taught for 4 years, 8th grade English at the intermediate school. I guess starting from the beginning, I grew up in Point Pleasant, born and raised there. I still live there in that area. My childhood, I grew up with my two younger brothers. One is 2 years younger, the other is 6 years younger. And my parents, I couldn't say enough good things about my childhood and growing up and living in Point Pleasant. I feel like every day I was just out on my bike, whether we were riding around to a field to play sports or one of the courts in town or riding our bikes to the beach. It was just something we were outside doing every single day. I'm very close to my family. My brothers are two of my closest friends. Growing up, I mean, we were always pretty close growing up, but there was obviously a lot of fights, and we played rough. And I don't know, I think I learned a lot from that childhood experience. As I got older, a big part of my life was playing sports at Point Pleasant Borough High School. I played soccer, basketball, and baseball there. I played a ton of soccer growing up, and then I stopped around like ninth grade, 10th grade. I just played some club soccer, and then I stopped playing at the school. I think playing basketball was one of the best experiences of my life and kind of shaped a lot of things that I decided to do and the direction that it led me going forward. A lot of my closest friends that I still have today, I played high school basketball with growing up. We spent a lot of time working out in the summer and long practices throughout the winter. And we had a great coaching staff, a close, tight-knit group of guys. The coaching staff at Point Borough, where I played, it's still the same coaching staff now. The head coach, Kevin Hines, he's the longest tenured head coach in the Shore Conference. I think he's going on, I don't know, somewhere in the 30s. He's got over 400 career wins. We were never the best team, but I think we were one of the toughest teams and one of like the closest teams. And I think that allowed us to beat teams that were probably a little better at basketball or more talented than we were. So I speak about this experience because I think for the people that know me and the time that I spend coaching here at Ocean Township, I think that was a huge reason why that was something that I wanted to continue to pursue. I loved my high school experience, even other than sports. Really close-knit town. Kind of everyone knows each other. But now that I guess here in Ocean Township, it doesn't feel as small as maybe that it felt growing up. I didn't really know what I wanted to do after I graduated high school. I did know that I wanted to go to college. I feel like today in school, there's less of a push that you have to go to college and you have to go study something, and there's no other alternatives to that. My mother is a teacher. My father worked construction, and one of his things was always, you don't want to be working this line of work. Like, you want to go to school and you want to do something that's probably a little less taxing on your body. So as I got to the end of my senior year, I really was unsure of what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to go to a college. I wanted to get away from home a little bit. And after graduation, I went to James Madison University, which is in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's about like 5 hours away, so not too far. It's a bigger school, but a lot of it reminded me of kind of like a tight-knit and didn't have like that real big school feeling, which is like maybe what I thought I wanted. But again, how much can you know before you even get to that point in your life. So I went to James Madison University. I went in there to study business. I quickly learned that I was not super interested in studying business. All growing up, I enjoyed learning new things. I enjoyed going to school. I liked all my classes, and I felt like the opposite of that when I got to college. I did not enjoy the business classes that I was taking. I was in a room with probably like 150 to 200 other people. There was no attendance policy there. The professor did not know my name. There was no checked homework. It was kind of like you had to be extremely internally motivated to go there each week. I think I had it 2 days a week for an hour and a half. It was my last class I had on Thursdays. And when there was no attendance policy and they never knew if I was going to be there or not, a lot of times I opted to not attend and start my weekend a little bit early. Looking back now, it's like it's all on you and no one's going to make you go to class, and really you're paying for it out of your own pocket. I think I would have treated that experience a little bit differently, knowing what I know now. And I missed out on learning some things that I probably could have learned, even in a course that I wasn't super interested in at the time. I only went to James Madison for the first year. I did pursue looking at some other classes and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But that next summer, I decided to transfer closer to home and go to Kean University. I discussed with my mom that, I don't know, maybe like being a teacher would be something that I'd want to do, which I had my doubts about after I was like, I didn't really like the classes I was in. I don't know if like being in a classroom is something that I would like want to be doing for the rest of my life. But I did go to Kean University and I took some introductory education courses. Turns out I was super interested in them, kind of just how my mom expected me to be. So it was very basic, like psychology and lesson planning. And we took a couple trips to some local schools, and I don't know. I thought at that point that it was something that I might be interested in doing. I didn't really know what type of teacher I wanted to be. We did do this program. It was called Challenger Basketball with my high school basketball team, where every Saturday we would work with some special education students from elementary level up into early adulthood. And that was an experience I really enjoyed. And that was kind of something that maybe I could try to turn that into some type of career. So I thought about studying special education, which I do have a degree in. And then the content area that I decided to pursue was English. I guess I consider history a little bit too, but I just figured with English and reading about what's going on in the world and reading different books, which I kind of look at as just like someone's stories or someone's experiences that they put into a book, whether it's fictional or nonfiction. I just thought having that opportunity to read other people's stories and teach students how to look at the experiences and stories of others and connect that to what's going on in their life in the real world was something that I would really enjoy doing. So I did that. I got a English bachelor's degree with special ed. I did some student teaching at Lakewood High School. Being from Point Pleasant, I knew Lakewood was pretty close to me. The only thing I really knew about it is that we always played them in sports growing up. And I didn't think of it as like the greatest area. So I was a little concerned with that being my placement to student teach from like January to May of like my last year of college. When I got to my placement, I was paired with a really great English teacher. Her name was Nancy Reardon. She was tremendous. She was from Manasquan, so we had similar backgrounds in terms of where we were from. She was a veteran teacher. She was the teacher that was like the go-to person for all the kids there. And it just kind of brought clarity to me that like I really did enjoy the experience and the opportunity to be a teacher. I thought that's a place that I might have wanted to continue to teach. After I graduated in May, I finished out the rest of the year at Lakewood High School, doing like a long-term sub. Right about at the end of that year is when I started applying for jobs and trying to figure out where I was going to work long-term. I applied to several different places. The only thing that I got an opportunity to apply for was a maternity leave position for 8th grade at Ocean Township Intermediate School. I think being that I didn't have a lot of experience, a maternity leave position was probably ideal for me to apply to and have a chance to work in. I clicked immediately with the principal, Larry Costula, who I had a great relationship and I learned a lot from him. So it was supposed to be a 1-year maternity leave position, but before that year even started, whoever the woman was that worked here that was only going to be off for a year, she decided to just keep going. Am I good? Do I need to rush or anything? All right, I'm doing all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. So it turns out I became just like a full-time tenure track teacher. My first 4 years as teacher, I worked in 8th grade at Ocean Township Intermediate School. I had a lot of really good mentors there that I learned a lot from. Probably some teachers that you would know from the intermediate school, Mr. Cervellino, Mrs. Willems. There are 2 people in particular that I worked closely with that I learned a lot from. And I think were 2 people that I owe a lot to helping me get to this point in my career. From there, I was transferred to Ocean Township High School. I felt that it was a pretty good fit for me because I already coached a couple sports here, basketball, lacrosse. Later on in my career, I started coaching soccer as well. It was a great opportunity for me to continue coaching with Mr. Treleski. I worked with him for about 6 years, coaching basketball together. So it was a seamless transition for me to join his soccer staff when there was an opening as well. I've taught various classes here at Ocean Township High School in the English department, from senior English to the freshman seminar instructional technology class. I think the best part of my job is that I've gotten to connect with so many people, having most of the freshmen in my class in the IT course and coaching so many different sports. I think my favorite part of this job is getting to connect with students and especially seeing them grow and mature from their freshman to their senior year. Coaching sports has also been like a great aspect of my career here. Like I said earlier, playing sports was just like a really good experience for me. I met some of my best friends still to this day playing high school sports, and I can really appreciate like the bonds and friendships that the kids are creating, whether it's through winning games or through some tough times and losing some tough games. I look at all of these as just like some really good character building moments. And it's really great to see the kids come together. I've been the head coach for the boys lacrosse team here for the last 4 years. My first assistant coach that I had was David Walk, who was one of the best goalies that we had here. He graduated in 2017. I was really proud that when I became the head coach, I got to have one of the players who played for me come back and be on my staff. Since then, I've had 2 other assistant coaches join my staff. Joe DeYusto, who is a 2019 graduate, who also played for me, and he was in my class, and it's just been really cool to see our bond grow from a coach-player type thing or a teacher-student type thing to to being friends and working closely together, in addition to 2022 graduate Michael Terry. Again, it's just been a great opportunity to have former players come back and join my staff, people who I just know that I can trust. And they're great for the current high school kids. We have a great group of kids currently that I'm really proud of, the group that we have and who they are and what they do on and off the field. So again, I think a lot of my experiences that I had growing up and things that I enjoyed and things that I felt like I excelled at and things that I enjoyed learning, I think really set me up for the life that I currently have today. So I get to still be involved in sports, and I feel like that's just a great attachment to the teaching that I get to do in the classroom as well. So I hope everyone has a great experience in Discovery Science. And I think my biggest thing that I would tell you from that class is that there is something that you can take away and apply to your life, and listen to Mr. Muro. Thank you.